Earlier this month, more than 1,200 delegates from communities across Alberta gathered in Calgary for what Alberta Municipality called the province's largest municipal gathering ever. For 3 days, municipal leaders, administrators, and local government partners met face-to-face, sharing ideas and charting a path forward for their communities. Now, this was the very first meeting of municipal leaders since the 2025 Alberta Municipal Election in October. While at the convention, we spoke with 3 town mayors who will lead their communities forward over the next 4 years, including Drayton Valley Mayor Nancy Dodds. Mayor, thank you so much for chatting with me. Greatly appreciated here on second day of Alberta Municipalities Convention. What brings Drayton Valley to beautiful downtown Calgary for this event?
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me. So we're here. We're excited to be here at the Alberta Munis Convention. We have 5 new counselors that we're excited to teach all what happens at Alberta municipalities and enjoy the sessions and the networking. We have a few meetings that are happening here with some of the ministers and K Division. So just very excited to be driving forward Drayton Valley.
So I know it's still early days. We have not heard from the Premier this afternoon. But is there something that you're hoping that the Minister of Municipal Affairs or even the Premier herself will say on the stage that will give you hope heading back to Drayton Valley on Friday afternoon?
Absolutely. So I think right now there's a couple things on the top of my mind when it comes to the Premier of Municipal Affairs. One of them being infrastructure funding. That is something that I think all communities across Alberta are feeling, particularly mid-sized towns. So I'm hoping that there'll be an opportunity. We formed a working group, Mid-Sized Mayors Towns Caucus, and
that's right. I forgot.
Yes.
I forgot who's the chair of that now.
We'll be doing elections. We're having a meeting today at 5:00.
Okay.
So we did have Rhonda was the mayor of Didsbury.
Yep.
And so now we'll be looking for a new chair. I sit as one of the members of the executive board.
Can we see Chair Dodds on the future?
We'll see. I've got a busy agenda, so we'll see if someone else puts their name forward. But
so infrastructure
is our one and only topic or issue that we're driving up right now, and we're looking for supplementary additional infrastructure funding for 84 mid-sized towns across Alberta. So we're just trying to create a formula. We have been working with the Premier, which we're very grateful and blessed that she's given us her time, as well as Municipal Affairs, on coming up with a formula that would be fair across the board for all of the mid-sized towns and just help with our aging infrastructure. So that's something that I'm hoping we'll hear more about, as well as another thing, Drayton Valley. We have a lot of skilled trades and we want to see that number growing. So we have put in an ask for the province to purchase a mobile trades unit bus for us. So that's something that is on our radar. We want to have future discussions with the Premier and see if we can get something like that brought to our region that would not only help Drayton Valley, but it would help the region outlying around us as well.
So I want to pick up on the infrastructure for 2 seconds, if you don't mind. Now, every single mayor I've ever chatted with, you included, has given me the same answer but different words.
Yeah.
If a resident comes to me with a problem, what's the solution the resident's looking for? Now, you've said it around infrastructure. Mm-hmm. It's money.
Yeah.
More money to offset the issues that the municipality can't afford right now.
Yeah.
Is there a specific number you're looking for? If the Premier woke up tomorrow morning and said, you know what? I really like Nancy Dodds of Drayton Valley, the mayor. She's amazing. I'm going to give her a big giant check and go present it to her. What would that number be? Do you know?
That number? Yeah, we do know. When we started this journey with the Premier as a working group, we were at 2.7 million per mid-sized town spread across the 84 towns. But now when we kind of have taken a step back and created a formula, and now we've included our CFOs to be part of the conversation. So we have our CFO from the town of Drayton Valley, from Crossfields, and from Sundre that is helping. So we're looking at our assets. We're looking at what our community needs are, what our future needs are going to be. We're looking at emergencies. We've taken out wastewater and we've taken out recreation. So we're just talking about roads and sidewalks and everything.
Infrastructure.
So now we're looking at who needs it first, right? So we've come up with a formula that would be divided between the 84. It's similar to the LGFF formula, but a little bit different. So I can't speak directly to it because I'm not an accountant. But
no, but it sounds it's interesting you just said that, because unless I heard incorrectly, the mid-sized towns
Yeah.
are getting together and saying, okay, who's worse off?
Yes.
And if it's picking on a random community right now, so please apologize if the mayor's listening to this, but Carstairs. If the mayor of Carstairs says, we really have major issues, you'd be okay saying, okay, if we need to put more money there. It seems to be a Team Alberta approach.
It is. We're really, and that's the thing. So right now we have just under 30 municipalities that are part of the mid-sized mayor's towns, and we're looking to expand that to include all 84. Minister Williams is looking at helping us to grow those numbers, and we're advocating for the communities that don't even know that we're advocating for them, and we're asking for dollars because we know as Albertans we all have aging infrastructure and we all need it. So we want to make sure that the communities that need it first and foremost are the ones that are getting it, and we want to ensure that also that this funding isn't a one-time deal. It is additional supplementary funding year after year after year, so then we can start to get look at some of that asset management, repairs and replacement, and get these projects done before we're faced with an emergency, right? So that's what our goal is. We haven't been compensated for inflation since 2011, and it's hard for municipalities with rising costs, inflation, to put money away. So we're putting a little bit away in reserves, but we need to do better when it comes to our funding. We don't want to touch the LGFF. We just want some additional. We just want a little bit of what Calgary and Edmonton and the other big cities are getting. That's all we want, right?
Well, hey, and if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander,
Yeah.
right? So I want to also flip to the original, the second thing that you mentioned was the mobile
Trades unit.
Yes. How would
Yes.
that benefit Drayton Valley and the surrounding area? What is the economic impact for that? Because I can imagine that means people are going to stay at home. That means that
It's huge.
it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
So from a mayor's perspective, what do you see as a win there? Because it's not going to happen tomorrow. Next year, if it happens, would that be a massive win for you?
Oh, absolutely, it would. So post-secondary education training and reskilling is crucial in all areas across Alberta and the country. So when you look at the town of Drayton Valley, when you're, getting your hours towards becoming an electrician or a plumber or a welder, and you're having to leave the community now, that's a loss of wage, that's productivity, that's leaving your family to go to school, where if we could do that in our community, it's huge, right? If we could have, you're obtaining your hours for your apprenticeship, and then you're able to take that training year after year right in Drayton Valley, it's huge for our community, right? It fast tracks them.
And is the community buying in on it right now as well? They're like, yes, go for it. We really need this.
It's something that we've talked about quite a bit and had these conversations with residents for years. So the province of Alberta used to have the mobile trades that used to go around, and there used to be a grant that covered the transportation of the mobile unit to and from, but that grant is no longer around. So we hear that the mandate of the Alberta government, and the mandate is to get more skilled laborers, more trades out there. So Drayton Valley wants to be part of that solution. How do we work together? How do we align our strategic ideas with the provinces? It's easy, right?
Yeah.
Let us be part of that, and let's get Albertans back to work, right?
So I know we're on day 2 and you have other events that you have to go to, breakout sessions. So I'm going to ask my 2 final questions. And one is, I'm going to ask it today, and I'm going to ask it 4 years from now in the next election. You've just been reelected. You're new council, 5 new members. What do you hope to accomplish in the next 4 years as a council?
As a council, I think it's to get to work, as a community, just like many communities. When I came into my first time being mayor, second term on council 4 years ago, we came in still on the tail end of a pandemic. Then we had a wildfire, we had an evacuation, we had the loss of a councillor. It's been a rough 4 years for us as council, and I think it's time to get to work. I think it's time to work on those strategic ideas. I think it's time to bring this new council up to speed on the things that they've inherited, and to also prioritize those. Maybe some of the things that we thought were a priority maybe aren't so much of a priority anymore. So I'm very excited to work with this new council. They bring in a fresh perspective and energy. I'm excited to work with them for the next 4 years, and I think that amazing things are going to be happening in the town of Drayton Valley. So talk to me in 4 years, and I'm sure that I'll be saying how amazing that the previous 4 years have been.
Well, and that's where my final question is. So let's forward ourselves to 2029 when the next election is going to be.
Yeah.
What does Drayton Valley look like?
Drayton Valley looks like a community that continues to have a high quality of life. We still have a community pride that is so strong. We've learned a little more kindness, because I feel that as Albertans right now, as the angriest province in Canada, that we can do better. So I think in 4 years we're going to be kinder, we're going to be more respectful, and we're going to be dealing with issues like mental health and addiction. We'll have better supports in place. We'll have some infrastructure projects completed. We'll have that mobile trade unit in our community. And
you heard it here first.
That's
4
right.
years. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I think that it's just going to be a wonderful place that we can continue to call home. We'll see some growth there with some homes and education, housing being built. So, yeah, great things are on the horizon for the town of Drayton Valley.
Well, I'm assuming this is not the last time you and I will be chatting over the next 4 years, but thank you so much, and I look forward to our continued conversations, Mayor
Wonderful.
Dodds.
Thank you so much.
From the smallest village to the largest city, across every region of the province, Alberta Municipalities represents the communities where over 85% of Albertans live. AB Munis provides a united voice for 265 of Alberta's 330 municipalities, including summer villages, towns, cities, and specialized municipalities. As Alberta's largest municipal group, AB Munis listens to municipal leaders and advocates for solutions to their common issues. Additionally, AB Munis supports local governments by providing services specially designed to meet their operational needs. And they bring their members together regularly so they can share ideas and information so that their communities can thrive. Check out Alberta Municipalities at abmunis.ca and follow them on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, now called X. We also caught up with Town of Edson Mayor Kevin Zahara about the town's path forward and the path forward for his council. Mayor, thank you so much for chatting with us on day 2 of the Alberta Municipalities Convention. For yourself as the Mayor of Edson, congratulations on re-election, reacclamation, new council. How's the first few weeks been?
You know, the last few weeks have been really, really good. We have a council that's really engaged. We've had a really good election talking about the issues that Edson faces, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years building on, the hard work that previous councils have done to really put our community forward.
So what does that look like? What does that hard work look like? Where does that start?
That starts with, asset management planning, facility maintenance plans. We've done a lot of infrastructure assessments in our community, and now putting those plans into action. Also, we've built a really good base for growth for our community with an economic development plan, our first economic development department. So putting those strategies in place and focusing on growth. Rural Alberta has been struggling with populations moving into the cities. So we need to really be in a competitive place in order to attract residents to our community as well as industry to support growth and relieve the tax burden on taxpayers.
Does this new council feel like they can accomplish that in 4 years' time? Or I know we're still in early days,
yeah,
and the sausage takes a while to make, but progress needs to happen. Is it the team that can do it?
I believe it's the team that can do it. And we have a great administrative team as well that are really focused, working well together, not worried about, political fights and that sort of thing, but just trying to come to consensus and move forward.
One of the big things that's happening here on day 2 of the convention is Premier Danielle Smith will be giving her address. Now, this is going to be airing after her address, but what's the magic wand that can help the town of Edson? What would you want the Premier to say in her speech this afternoon that would give you hope that they understand what municipalities are going through like Edson?
I think the really big thing is I felt that the last little while there's been a lot of animosity between the province and municipalities, and re-engaging that relationship and that partnership to work together towards the common goal. It's not an us versus them. It's working together to serve our residents. We all serve the same people. And also, I know in rural Alberta right now we're feeling like the cities are taking all the money. Rural Alberta uses the cities, and they should share in the wealth of the resources that are developed in rural Alberta. But rural Alberta needs some help right now, and we need to be looking at ways in order to grow rural communities, to support rural health care. ER closures in our neck of the woods is horrendous right now, and so what can we do working together in order to resolve those issues and ensure that everybody has a good chance of survival and thrival?
Now the province can step in and say, okay, everyone has to work together and be nice about it, and that's what I think they're trying to do with the mandate letter that Minister of Municipal Affairs Dan Williams has. But what's your working relationship with your regional partners, with the Yellowhead County, with the town of Hinton, with anyone in your surrounding area? Because I know there's a few municipalities that I'm forgetting right now, and I apologize right now about that.
Yeah.
But what is the working relationship like with your regional partners?
We have an excellent working relationship with the Yellowhead County, and I can't say enough about them. They really work well with us. We obviously have differing opinions on things, different focuses, but they have been really supportive of working with us on projects that benefit both municipalities. We work closely with the town of Hinton, regular conversations with towns of Whitecourt and Drayton Valley and the community of Jasper as well. So in our neck of the woods, in the West Yellowhead, which is Martin Long's riding, our municipalities work really well together, and it's a foster of relationship and respect and understanding that we're stronger if we work together.
So in 4 years' time, I'm going to come back to another Alberta Municipalities Convention, which I'm assuming, if I'm doing my basic math here right, will be held in either Edmonton or Red Deer. What does the town of Edson look like in 4 years?
I think we're going to be a community with a brand new recreation complex. I hope that we see some housing starts and some growth in population growth, and really a central hub for West Yellowhead, which we are for industry right now, and just growing on that. And I hope that that's the story for many rural communities, that we are growing and we're not seeing the influx in the cities, unsustainable growth in many communities in southern Alberta, in the metro Edmonton and Calgary areas. We need people moving to some of these rural communities, and we can support that. We have jobs, we have all sorts of things available for them, and a great quality of life.
And for yourself, what do you hope to sort of mold into? Because we always try to better ourselves every term, every year, everything that we try to do. For yourself, how do you want to be a better mayor by the end of next 4 years?
Just listening to people, listening to people's concerns, and learning from my colleagues, and understanding where your weaknesses are and building off of that and improving every single day.
Mayor, always a pleasure.
On the third day of Alberta Municipalities Convention, we spoke with town of Okotoks Mayor Tanya Thorn about the early days of that 2025-2029 term and the path forward for the town of Okotoks.
Mayor, thank you so much for chatting to me on day 3 of the Alberta Municipalities Convention in downtown Calgary. First off, congratulations on your re-election. How does it feel to be back for another 4 years?
I'm really happy about it, and excited for the term ahead.
So early days, but how has the first few days of the new council been working out? Are they molding together?
We're working really hard to be a solid team that can respectfully debate the issues ahead of us. But we've had lots of governance training so far, spent a lot of time together, and so far everything is looking great.
So what is the priority path forward? I know you and I chatted over the campaign period, but for yourself, now that you have the council around the table, what's the path forward for Okotoks?
So we have budget starting next week, so that'll be the first.
The fun stuff.
The first fun hurdle. I think it's the drawback of municipal government is that's the initiation point, is throw them into budget to start with. And then we'll start some strategic planning in the early 2026. So I think that'll really start to set the tone of where does this council want to go, what do they want to do, and I'm really looking forward to those conversations.
So we're here at Alberta Municipalities Convention. You're speaking with mayors, councillors who've been re-elected, new faces. Are you hearing the same concerns that you're facing in Okotoks across the province when you're talking to different delegates?
I think for many of the municipalities that at least resonate with Okotoks, growth is a big concern across the province. We're all experiencing unprecedented growth and significant demands on our infrastructure, requirements for new infrastructure, all of those pieces, and how are we going to fund them? So there's been lots of conversations around how do we position that and embrace the opportunities that come with growth, but at the same time find a way to mitigate the challenges.
So you were here when Premier Smith was speaking. Was there anything that she said that gives you hope that municipalities in the province have a better working relationship now than they did prior to the election?
I think my comment would be that there's always great language around collaboration, and we're going to work together.
Most political answer I've gotten all week, Mayor.
And so for me, it's about, can we put some action into those words? Words are words, but I haven't really seen necessarily the action behind those words. So I look forward to seeing what that looks like.
What would be a good first step?
Would love to see some conversation around what infrastructure funding, long-term infrastructure funding looks like. LGFF, we've been talking about for a long time. I think we need to find a new formula, and I think the Alberta Municipalities Property Taxes Reimagine campaign and really trying to create that new conversation, we need to start there, because what's happening right now isn't working.
So, hypothetically, the premier tomorrow morning wakes up and goes, you know what? I really like that mayor of Okotoks. I'm going to write her a big giant check and hand deliver it to it.
Oh.
What's the silver bullet? What's the number that you would be happy with? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but is there a number, or is just a little bit more better?
A number for LGFF for us? Or
anything. Is there a number? If she said, you know what, we're just going to write a random check today.
Oh, well, I would take $20 million right off the get-go, and we'll just start right there. So, you know, like, that would be a good start. It will allow us to do an expansion on our rec center and probably be able to do that together in partnership with them. But I don't know if there's a number, and I don't think it's just about money. Like, it is about money, don't get me wrong, but I think it's about how do we actually do things a bit more effectively than we are. You know, we hear about the downloading of services to municipalities and staying in our lane. What does that actually mean? What is actually our lane? What is the provincial lane? And who should really do what, and how should we be funding what we each should be doing? And I think we have to have that really thoughtful conversation of who's more effective to do certain things. Yeah. And we aren't doing that. The world has changed since everything was created way back when. You know, I don't think anybody envisioned when they created the Municipal Government Act that we would have the size of urban centers that we do today.
And still using the same outdated formula.
Correct. You know, I do think the idea of relooking at the MGA, because it is a very large document that's been pieced together, but that can't be from the top down. It needs to be from the bottom up of what actually makes sense. So yeah, that long answer to your question.
A long answer to the question, but it brings me to my last question. So in 4 years' time, you and I are going to have this exact same conversation. What does Okotoks look like in 4 years?
Well, I hope we have a really nice new expanded rec center, and that there's a 338 interchange. So that number I gave you, 20 million, probably needs to double, but that we won't go there. You know, I think what I would love to see in the next 4 years is that we're managing growth. And in that management of growth, this is the number one thing that I've heard in my community is we haven't lost who we are. And so that when you come back to Okotoks, you still go downtown and people say hi to you. You feel like you're part of a community. You've got that warmth, that friendly, charming, unique character that Okotoks is known for. And we haven't lost that. And that at the end of 4 years, that it's still the central theme of who we are as Okotoks.
Well, Mayor, now that our show has expanded, I am assuming this is not the last conversation in 4 years' time.
Probably not.
So thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for all your work.
Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Municipal Affairs. Now, we hope you've enjoyed today's conversation and gained some valuable insights into the world of municipal politics in the province of Alberta. Quick note, we want to thank Alberta Municipalities for allowing us to be on location at this year's convention to speak with delegates from across the province. Also, for you, our listeners, to our viewers, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platforms or on YouTube. We have a few more weeks of this season left in the show, and we have some great episodes coming up, including our 2025 Year in Review series that kicks off in the middle of December. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and we will be back with a brand new episode of Municipal Affairs shortly. Till then, everyone.